Hey guys, welcome to another video. This time, as you can see, a new setup with a special guest, Lukas. Nice to meet you.
Hi, nice to be here.
So Lukas, tell us, who are you?
Sure, I'm Lukas Körbs. Right now I'm 29 years old and I'm a software developer, a software engineer, currently working as a tech lead for a big German company. And yeah, we develop software for the pharma companies, big pharma companies that try to automate their processes to get away from paper and to run them automatically. But besides working in the tech industry, I try to test out different ideas, entrepreneurial ideas that I have. That's what I've always done. Just start some projects and look where it goes, look how I like it, and then I think if I want to continue or if I want to try something else. So one of those projects that was occupying me for the last few years was a coffee brand that I started in cooperation with a roasting company that's nearby here. Didn't turn out as I expected it first, but I learned a lot. So I continue the journey and look where it goes. And right now I'm trying to get into social media a little bit more to teach other people what I already learned in the tech industry, especially when it comes to leadership, because for 2 or 3 years I had my own marketing agency.
Interesting.
Up to 6 people where we were at the time. So I learned a lot about how people behave and how they react to you if you want to give them tasks. So also in the job that I do day to day, I had to lead teams in projects to accomplish certain goals, certain tasks. So I learned a lot from that, and I try to share what I learned.
Interesting. You just said leadership. When I try to actually manage something, I often realize that if you are really, really, really young or just not on a decent age where you could be, okay, he already made his way, he's already, let's say, a boss or something you can look up to. What would you say is for young people out there very important, or where can they become a leader where other people be like, okay, I trust that person? Because most of the time you will get underestimated because of your age. They think, okay, you don't know how leadership works, and that's why people don't actually expect you to lead. But how can you lead as a young entrepreneur, so to say, a good team?
Good question. I think first of all, they have a point, right? So if you're young, you don't have a lot of experience yet. So there will be a lot of situations that you face for the first time, that you learn from, that you have to ask maybe someone. So searching for a mentor and getting feedback a lot is important to learn quickly. That's what I learned from my experience. But then again, I don't think that a leader has to be a certain age. I think you can start wherever you are right now. That's the message that I want to give the people as well. So just look at your circumstances and look what you can influence and what you can't influence. Discern between them and try to influence what you can. So just do what you can, basically. Of course, leadership starts with yourself. If you're organizing your own work, if you have a plan for what you're doing the next day, the next week, only then you can start to help other people accomplish their tasks as well. And of course, there are different styles of leadership, but if it comes to respect, to get respect from other people, to fulfill your tasks yourself and to maybe help others do their work, in my experience, you have to earn this respect for a little while. So when I started working in this field, I started an apprenticeship here in Germany. That's like usual business.
Yeah, 100%.
And I got assigned to a project where I had to do test automation.
Okay.
So I was automating tests for a software that other colleagues were writing. It was hardware and software on this device. And a lot of people didn't listen to what I was telling them. And it's a difficult situation because as a test or as a tester, you're finding bugs. But if the people don't believe that you found a bug, then they aren't ready to fix it. So I had to argue a lot in the first weeks, because I had to prove them that they actually made a mistake, and it's not me who's mistaken, because the test system I was thrown at was very faulty to begin with. But over the next 6 to 12 months, I managed to fix almost all errors that were coming from the test system itself.
Okay.
And the system was accurately pointing out flaws in the software.
Wow.
So then I also gained the respect of my co-workers and of my team. So then they almost treated me like my word was absolute, sometimes too much. Sometimes I said, like, I think I found a mistake somewhere in this area of the code. And before I could explain it to my colleague, he already tried to change something in this part.
Okay,
So,
crazy, wow.
Yeah, but that's like because I continued to show them proof for what I did. And they found that what I told them was correct. Okay. So that's what I would try to do. Lead with competence, lead with truth. And then the respect will come automatically. If the people see you're competent in what you do, then they will start to respect you, even if you're younger than them.
So you like, because I listen to a lot of podcasts or watch a lot of videos about how to become a leader, because it's one thing about creating a product that sells and then creating a company, because a company is mostly just a great team. It's not just a product. If you really want to have a company that's not just for the next 10 years, but for the next 50 to 100 years, you need a good team around you. You need people that think and encourage you to do more and also push your limits. And then I realized, it was even a MMA fighter called Conor McGregor, maybe you know him. I would say he's a very smart man. He doesn't just know how to fight, but how to do business, because he made a bunch of money besides that fighting branch, also with a lot of other companies. And he said that you should lead from the top, and not just by words but by actions. And that's what you also explained, because I think if you want to become a good leader as a young person or young entrepreneur, you can do so by showing that you are willing to stay in the office till the last one is leaving, that you're the first one already in the office, and that you're willing to go the extra mile. But if you're someone who's like, okay, I want everyone to work hard, but I'm the boss and I'm not working hard, then people will see that. And especially if you're young, I mean, you have the energy. Most of you have so much time. You don't have no responsibilities besides, I don't know, to make a living, and that's it. You don't have any children, most of the people. You have no women to take care of. You know, there's like so much time, and still people want to have a 4 days week of working, or they want to just, I don't know, 6 hours and then I clock off and I enjoy my time. But I think if you want to achieve more, you have to do more, right?
Yeah, so if you want to get ahead of the competition, let's say, then you have, of course, to learn faster than them as well, right? If you have a lot of time off, then use it wisely. At least don't use it to just, I don't know, go out and party and drink or something, but use it to learn. Because I liked to have a shorter work week. I didn't like the concept of a 5-day work week, to be honest. But on the other hand, I used my weekend to work on my own projects. So in the end, I had a 6 or 7 day work week most of the time, because I collected experience in my off time in different areas, maybe in charity work or somewhere else in entrepreneurial projects that I started. And like you said, you have to have some advantage to be in the front, basically, to set an example for the others. What people often turn to me and still do is for problem solving. So if they don't know how to solve a problem in the system, they usually ask me if they're in my closer circle, and then I work it out with them, or walk through the steps. But basically, I just ask questions. I don't have all the solutions or all the answers at hand at any time. Sometimes I do, but most of the time I don't. So then I tell them, okay, let's look at the documentation together. Let's piece it together. Let's try out this. Let's try out this. Have you tried this? And then after some time, you find a problem and people are happy. But you see, it's a difference I know that I can solve this problem, and the people sometimes don't have this confidence. They think I have to ask someone, I can solve this problem myself. They get discouraged quickly. If one thing is certain in software development is that you're going to have a lot of errors in your code and mistakes, and going to spend a lot of time searching for mistakes. So yeah, not getting discouraged too fast is an important step.
Yeah, and I think besides also just developing softwares, I would say you also have errors in life, right? There's like, you think, okay, for example, you want to start a business, you need, I don't know, let's say a 5-step program or a business plan. You point out everything you need, then you start doing it and realize, okay, wait, I need much more. Or I was going in that direction, I need to go into that direction. So you reset, refocus, and try to set up a new plan. And I think, like you said, if you have the mentality not just to start over and over again, but also to never give up, to be like, okay, I don't know it yet, but I will find a way to figure it out. Right. And I think if you have an open mindset, a growth mindset, like you also, or sometimes you have these two, actually they are just two kind of people that have different mindset. There's one who has that fixed mindset, okay, I know that and I don't know that. And there's like no in between. Or there's people who be like, okay, I have a growth mindset, so I don't know, I know this really good, but I don't know this area, but I will find a way to get more knowledge about this specific area. And that's how you actually live in life. Because if you don't know something, especially to our generations, be it ChatGPT, be it just any kind of knowledge, be it just books, you can there's so many opportunities to just gain knowledge and start doing what you love. The first book that I read is called Everything is Figureoutable. And that was the perfect book to start for everyone out there if you want to read some books or whatever, by Marilyn Monroe. No, not Marilyn Monroe. That's the singer. No. Yeah. Is it Marilyn Monroe?
It was a singer.
Yeah. No, not. She's called Marilyn. Something with M. I don't know. But there's just one book, Everything is Figureoutable, by a woman, by a businesswoman that wrote it. And she said she started, I think, 20, 25, 30, 50 different kind of ventures before hitting her first 1 million company. And that's how you should actually look at every failure. Imagine that you're just 10 failures away from hitting the big jackpot, be it $1 million, be it a big empire that you started, whatever your goal is, imagine you're just 10 failures away. And if you work with that mindset, you will love to fail and you will never give up. And that's what I think people are missing out today, because they look up on their social media, see, 18-year-old who's starting his own business 1 year ago, driving in a Lamborghini in Dubai, having a private yacht, and be like, okay, now I'm going to start my first business, and next year I want to have 2 Lamborghinis.
It doesn't work that way. No, you need persistence. Like, you need to have a goal, a general direction in which you go. But then you have to adapt a lot and learn a lot, right? Like you said, you have to have a growth mindset. Like, you're going to run into issues that you never faced before. And then you have to decide to stay and figure it out until you understand it at least properly. So you know if you have a good chance of passing through it or if you should go around it maybe. But the general direction, you should have an iron belief that you're going to make it eventually at some point. The thing I find interesting is that a lot of this goes back to which experiences you had as a child. Like, did you have this experience as a child that I can solve problems, I can figure it out myself? Or did someone always like try to coddle you and solve everything for you? You never had any problems. And then, or maybe you were very gifted in school and you didn't have to study for tests. You just passed every exam with flying colors. But yeah, if you're getting older, you start to run into problems that take a lot of effort and a long time to solve sometimes. Sometimes you have to deal with things for years. Like in my coffee business, for instance, we bought one batch of coffee beans.
Okay.
And we tried to sell them online via an online shop. We started doing social media marketing. We tried paid ads. We tried talking to local businesses and stuff like this. But every door I knocked at, basically, I figured out that there was like a barrier to entry that was much higher than I had anticipated. So it would take a lot more effort in this direction to actually do it, to pass it. Then I started to understand why other brands didn't do this route that I tried. So but after we sold our first batch,
Okay.
we haven't sold it very quickly, so it was a lot of effort, and we didn't really sell out of it. We bought another batch, tried again. So, we failed one time, and we started to fail another time, basically. And we tried a whole bunch of different ideas. And we understood the market a lot better. And now I think this is an experience that no one can take from me. Even in other business ventures, I'm going to already know a lot about how markets work in general. So you just have to fail fast, learn a lot, and try out different things until you find something that works. Some people find it quicker than others. Some people need a little bit longer, but most entrepreneurs with whom I've spoken, especially the successful ones, said they tried dozens of things before something actually worked.
That's true, and that's the best way of learning, right? Because I mean, you can see there's everywhere books around me, and I would say I was still like I just actually today in my morning routine I just tried to do a new weekly plan. I now call it the so-called monk mode. That's what I did like 2 years ago. No, I started with it 3 years ago. And it's just for me to be like, okay, now I just want to focus on my goals for the next month. Insanely high, just driven and obsessed. And then I try to balance my life again. And I just, I created that new monk mode again and just did a weekly plan. And like you said, I mean, you need a lot of knowledge, right? You need a lot of books to learn. But the best way of learning is just by doing it. You know, like you don't know the market, you don't know that business. So if you fail, you will actually learn. There's actually no failing, because the only way it stays a failure if you give up. But if you keep on going, that's just a learn process. And in 10 years, if you're a millionaire, if you have your empire, if you have everything around you, you would not say that 5 years ago that business that you started was a failure. No, it was a learning process. Because now if I look back, a year ago I had nothing. I really my business was not going well. I looked at my bank account, there was literally $0. I think at that time I was still in India, or I just came back. Like I tried there also different ventures, also with coffee, tried to open up a cafe, whatsoever, different kind of ventures. I was like, that's nothing for me. But I had that marketing still with me. I still did my personal branding, still followed my goals, my passion, my personal brand, whatever you want to call it. And ventures didn't went that well, but you don't give up, you keep on going, and all of a sudden you're here, you made your first milestone, you made a little living. And if I look back, I would say I would not do it any other way, because that's what made me as a person. And I know for a fact that if I lose everything tomorrow again, I will find a way to make a couple bucks. Even if I would work at Starbucks, you would still make you 1-2 grand. I would even spend less money, because Starbucks, I have too many coffees, so I would even save a bit of money with that, working at Starbucks. But that's what I mean. Like, there's no failing, especially if you're young. Like, there's no child that I have to take care of. I can literally lose everything tomorrow, and I can go all in again. And I would say you only have that time if you're really young, if you start your first ventures, and you should fail. I think that's what I would tell everyone out there who starts something: fail as much as possible.
Yes, not being afraid of failure is an important part. Or experiencing it, because if you've experienced it once or twice, then you start to realize it's not that big of a deal, right? You learn a lot from it, and people generally don't care as much as we think they do. Like, sometimes when we start something for the first time, we think, oh, everyone's looking at us. They're talking about this for like 1 week, and maybe after a couple of months, a few good friends ask you, how is it going? But most of the time they forget it very quickly. So it's not big of a deal. And they even respect it. Like, I respect people that try things, even if it doesn't work out. why do I think about my own projects in a different light than I think about projects of other people? Like when I see someone trying something, I think, yeah, more power to you. Let's do it. Yeah. Right, try it. But if you think about yourself, sometimes you think, I don't know if I should do it or not. How long did it take for you to grow on YouTube for a little bit?
I would say right now I'm a little bit over 1,000 subscribers, and it took me more than 2.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah. More than 2.5 years. And most of the subscribers are actually just because of social media, because it blew up really fast. I wouldn't say really fast, but like it took me only 1.5 years to reach my first more than 20,000 followers on Instagram. And most of the people are following me now on YouTube as well. But it's a very tough market, and it's also, like you said, especially if you're creating content online, not just people around you that know you are knowing what you do, but everyone else. And I started with my social media, Instagram, TikTok, and also YouTube, when I was doing that apprenticeship also in engineering. So I did mechatronics, had more than 3.5 years. And I was in school with other people that were like, back then I was 17, 18. So they were, I wouldn't say childish, but they were messing with you because they saw, like I did reads day in the life, what I do, how I dress up. And I also used to dress up even back then in school when I had no money.
They recognized you stand out and they didn't like this.
Exactly. They didn't like it. They would be like, are you going to a private school? Who do you think you are? And then they looked up my, every day I posted actually on Instagram reels. Like I just had that momentum, which was really good. But I remember that when I went to school, because you have to go with the apprenticeship, not just to work, but also to school, I was sick for a week, but I already scheduled my content. So I had like a 2-week puffer, 2-week gap between my actual life and my content, which was good for me because I like my privacy. But back then it was like hundreds of views only and maybe tens of likes. So I uploaded even when I was sick. And people in school watched my content, be like, oh my God, he's enjoying his life, but he's not actually going to school. Yeah. And then they showed that my teachers, my videos, and I can maybe put it, like insert into this video.
You got in trouble for this.
Yeah, one friend of mine, he showed me a picture. They watched my videos on a big screen in front of the whole class with the teacher. And I wouldn't say I was embarrassed, but it felt kind of odd knowing that, okay, everyone is judging you. And first of all, it was just my mind telling it me. And then when we had our last trip with the school, where I was like, okay, now it's over, where I also knew exactly I will not practice this job and started to pursue my career, a teacher of mine came to me and be like, Chirag, like we had a big a last meal together at the restaurant, and then in front not just of my class but of the other class as well. It was the whole Jahrgang, how do you say?
Grade, same
grade. The whole grade, actually the whole, like maybe 60 people together. Also most of the people I don't know. And then the teacher said, oh, Chirag, like in front of everyone. I was like at the table. He's like, oh, Chirag, last time I saw a video of you on TikTok. What are you doing there? It's like trying to embarrass me. I was like, what do you mean what I'm doing there? It's just like, my day in the life. Or sometimes I did some things who was like, actually not, I wouldn't say embarrassing, but I look into the camera and I dress up or I go to the gym. So actually just normal day in the life routines. I was like, what do you mean? It's like, why are you doing that? Like, and tried to make me down. I didn't understand that because he was a teacher I actually looked up to. He was a smart guy, but I don't know if it was, and I think when I look back, it was just his insecurities that he tried to project on me. Because back then I actually just had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 likes, most of them family and friends. And I was no one to call myself, okay, now I'm an influencer and a content creator. But I still pursued it with that energy. Yeah. And back then he talked me down. And now I would say I reached a good level of, whatever you want to reach. And I still didn't give up. And what I just wanted to tell everyone who's starting out there, don't let anyone else's insecurities getting projected on you and start limiting yourself, because that's the only thing that's stopping you. like we already said in the beginning, limiting beliefs, you know?
Yeah.
If it's yourself that like you are sometimes limiting yourself by telling yourself, okay, I cannot do it. People are judging me. Lukas might be telling me stop doing it, or my parents are telling me it. No matter what you think, just do it, because the only one who can stop you is yourself.
Right.
But if you start not limiting yourself, but open up and be like, okay, I want to fall, I want to get judged on, and I actually want to get disliked by people, then you are a free person. Otherwise, you will stay a slave, right?
Yeah, if you're a creative person and you want to create, then you have to detach from what you're creating, basically. I told you earlier, I was doing some music production a few years back, and I've always viewed it like, as soon as I release a song, as soon as I put it out there, it's no longer mine. Like, you can talk about it, you can say about it whatever you want. I'm finished with it. I've done my thing, right? And it's the same with this. Like, you're working on something, you're talking about it, but you're learning at the same time. Like, you're progressing continuously. So yeah, you're not dependent on what other people think of you. One thing that annoyed me for a long time was when I told people about my coffee business, they started to give you all sorts of advice. And like, I informed myself, like I read a lot and I searched for ways to sell it. But yeah, there are different constraints that they can't see. Like from a 5-minute conversation, you're not going to become an expert in sales, right? Yeah. But still, all people talk like, you should just go there and sell it there, or just do this. And that really annoyed me, because I thought, like, you don't really know what it's like. So over time, I just stopped talking about it with people. I stopped expecting from people that they understand this drive, this interest in doing something and building something. And yeah, if someone really asked about it, of course, then I can tell them, but I don't expect to hear any serious advice from someone who hasn't tried to start something themselves. Of course, I have a lot of friends that have started something themselves, and I talk with them about my projects. But even there, I usually like focus on creating first, and then I can check what I made, get feedback, and then correct. Look where I'm going afterwards.
Yeah, but that's so true, because also I can just talk from my experience back then when I started everything. I just had that vision. I just had the vision, okay, I want to inspire others.
Yeah, no one else is seeing it,
Yeah,
right?
no one else know about that vision. And if you, for example, if you talk to a barista about you want to start the biggest paper company, whatever, he's like, okay, wait, are you mad? Like, what's wrong with you, you know? Or if you talk to a barista about, oh, you want to start your own cafe, or you want to start becoming a barista as well, he's like, oh my, yeah, it's super nice. I love making coffee. I love making cappuccino.
He's immediately into it.
You know, he's like in passion about it, because that's what he likes to do. But if you talk to a stranger, or be it even family, about your business, or friends, want to get someone, or just want to share your passion, most of them, they will talk you down, but not in a bad way because they meant it, but just because they don't know what you are seeing. And I would say, if you have that fire in you, if you have that vision, then just go after it, and don't even tell anyone besides people that you look up to in that industry. If you want to become social media marketing expert, then look up some other experts and be like, okay, I try to connect with them. I try to ask them for advice. Advice is always good, and feedback, but from the right people.
Correct.
If you get feedback,
have the right understanding, the right context to give you advice, even on the topic.
Yeah, but from the wrong people, it can tear you apart, and that's really, really dangerous. So I would say, just do whatever you can do on your own, and then just get feedback from people in your niche, but not from outside.
And the most important feedback is real data, right? You try something. If it works, then you have feedback. If it doesn't work, you also have feedback.
Exactly.
Like, that's the most accurate advice or feedback that you can get. So trying as many things as possible is the most important thing, I think. And you don't always have to do it in a big way. Like, this is one thing I learned. You have to design small experiments for different things, and start trying them, because sometimes people get paralyzed by their big vision. You know, you have this big vision and you think, okay, now I have to do, I don't know, one YouTube video every day for the next 3 years to get successful. And that's true if that's what you want to do. But if you commit to it for maybe 2 weeks, 1 month, and try it out, and then you see, okay, my workflow isn't ideal, but I like doing it, then I can correct and continue doing it. What do I have to buy to improve and stuff like this? So yeah, it's a lot of problem solving. And also earlier I've remembered a book that I recently read. It's about solving math problems.
Okay.
A little bit boring maybe, but there's like...
I hated math.
Yeah.
only after, I think, 4th grade.
Yeah, when I started to understand it better, I actually started
Loved
to
it, right?
enjoy it. Yes,
Yeah.
It was nice, like solving a riddle or something.
100%. If you understand it, math is beautiful, but you need to be in school for that.
If you don't get it, it's difficult. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he said there is always 2 parts to solving a problem. One part is pure knowledge, like you said earlier, like experience. Have you seen similar problems? Do you know all the rules that apply? No one is getting around accumulating knowledge. So you have to learn something. It's gotten a lot easier in times of ChatGPT, AI. You can use it as a teacher. You can ask 100%. It to train you on a certain topic, ask you questions and stuff like this. I like to use it in this way. Yeah. But the second part is, he called it heuristics for math, but it's like patterns, like your process to solve a problem. And you can work on this early on. You don't have to wait until you have all the knowledge. And this will improve your problem solving even early on. Like, have you made use of all the information that you have available? Because a lot of times people come to me with problems, like I mentioned earlier, and they haven't properly read the documentation. Like, I did the same thing. Like, I take the documentation of this part of software, I read it through, and I tell them this and this is the problem probably, try it out. And it works. Because they didn't take the time to read the documentation. So it's a simple step, but have you taken into account all the information? Then have you, or did you come across a similar problem in the past that is applicable or similar to this that you already solved or that you know how to solve? So can you take something from there and apply it here? Things like this, yeah. So those are like tactics or patterns of thought that you can use to solve problems. But of course, you need a store of information, of knowledge that you have to accumulate over time. So you can be very good in solving problems, but you still have to accumulate knowledge over time. And that's coming with time, with age.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, if I had to summarize it, it's like you have to look at your process.
Okay.
And if your process is correct, you just have to iterate a lot. Yeah, try a lot of things, try it out, learn, get feedback. And then over time, you are going to be an expert in your field. You're going to be appreciated by others for what you do. And then you can collaborate with them and help them solve their problems as well. And basically that's what leadership is. You're at the forefront and you solve problems together with other people, with their help.
100%. And I think especially if you start to show that you're also willing to do the dirty work, so to say, then people will appreciate it even more, especially if they don't believe that you are willing to. I realized that sometimes I actually went on, let's say, shootings for constructions, and like you already know me, I mostly just dress up in suits or shirts and whatever, but I know that it's also good to be on one level with everyone around you. Be it the waiter that you shake their hands. It's just not just the boss that you have to give respect. It's everyone around you, and that's how you get respected, right? So I went onto this construction site, did a shooting for the company, did a lot of videos whatsoever, and you had to clean up certain areas, right, for the shoot whatsoever. And I could be like, hey, you come over here and just do it, or I could just do it myself. I was like, of course I'm going to do it myself. Why should I try to comment some other people around there? They got their things to do, but I want to do that shoot for the company, right? So I did it on my own, and they saw that. trying to I also got dirty, of course, whatsoever, and be like, okay, he's not just from the top trying to talk us down, do this and that.
Not afraid of dirty.
But he's doing it, so they respected me that much that they also, when I let's say forgot something to clean up, they did it, so it was just a mutual and a human connection. That's what
Absolutely.
it's all about.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's maybe one thought I would add. You don't have to have a fixed image of what a leader looks like, because sometimes people, when they start on this journey, they think, okay, I have to know everything. I have to tell people what to do or stuff like this. But there are a lot of different styles of leadership, and not every style fits every person. Yeah. I like to do a lot more personal style, collaboration with people. We work together. It's not like I'm the boss and you're the employee or something like this, but I'm happy for you to be here to help me with this. I appreciate your feedback, your input. I know you have certain skills that I don't have, so I like you to give me your perspective on this and your help. And if you then on the other side or the other hand stand up for them if they have difficulties or if they get in trouble for something, then they start to respect you for this. So like you said, it's on the same level, talking with people, collaborating with them, and doing it proactively, helping them. That's what gets you respected, basically.
Yeah, 100%. Lukas, I thank you so much for sharing your life experience and knowledge with us. I think everyone out there actually learned a lot from you, especially I did, because that's what I was missing when I just looked up my journey, because I didn't have that life experience. I never managed, I had a couple people that I managed and I tried to lead, and I still had a lot of questions how and what's the best way. And I think you explained it the best way is to summarize all of it together: lead by action, not just by words, and try to still give yourself time. I mean, you don't have to be the perfect leader, but you have to be willing to have a growth mindset and have to learn, or just be able to open enough to be able to learn for everyone and everyone around you. So
thank you for the conversation.
I
appreciate it.
Me too. And we see you guys in the next video. Try to hit the like button and follow Lukas. He's now So Lukas is also starting his own podcast channel. He's also creating a lot of content. So if you want to have more advice from him, check out his link in the description. And if you like this video, leave us a comment and a like, and subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for watching, guys. See you in the next video. I also have a sentence I always say in every YouTube video. It's don't forget to sow the seeds, because I think that explains my whole journey. Right. You sow the seed now, but you reap it not. It takes time to reap it. And I think the best way to expect or predict your future is by doing the best out of now. So don't forget to sow the seeds. Thank you so much for watching.